The most intelligent beings in the universe are spherical, such as cells, planets, and suns. They are considered the most intelligent beings because they have the ability to create life. When the spiritual realm first attempted to create the material world, they were seeking ways to bring spirit into the physical realm. Eventually, they chose biology. Our bodies are created by the most intelligent beings in the universe, cells. DNA is the physical expression of spirit in the physical world. The universe is also a sphere, not a circle. A circle would only trap us in one perspective of the universe, but a sphere shows you that you have many perspectives and directions to explore. Spheres are the cells that create worlds and life. This is the meaning expressed by the spheres in the flower of life, how the universe constructs reality through spheres. We used to say that the universe is mind, and everything is mind. The mind of the universe created the body through ideas, so that the spirit could experience its dreams. But it needed a bridge to connect and create the material world. This bridge is the soul. The soul is the core of every reality, the bridge between different worlds. It is the creation between spirit and body, the link connecting the two. You need emotion to understand information and energy to create matter. This is why the core of everything, the core of the tree of life, is the soul. The soul is different from spirits and ghosts. It is a sphere. Within this sphere, every energy and vibration of the universe is conscious and vibrating at different levels of consciousness. This is why the soul is the way and bridge for creating life. This is why the sphere is the most important structure for understanding the entire consciousness of the universe. Souls are created by the fruit of life. They are the energy that the spirit uses to create matter. Souls have no shape. They are energy and look like rainbows or spheres that project light and geometric shapes around them. The first souls created were vibrations produced from the sounds of the universe. The first 7 vibrations were the first 7 rays and colors of the universe. They began to come into being and project themselves into every time and space. This is why every soul first created in the universe is like an expanding sphere of energy. As they began to mix, they started to merge and create the great spheres of life, which we call the seed of life. Souls are energy beings with no specific shape, just a sphere. Then, each of these spheres began to split into many other spheres, called seraphim. Seraphim may take the form of suns or galaxies. They are enormous beings that can only express themselves as spheres. Spheres or spirals in the universe are the shapes of the first souls, as they represent the movement of the energy of the universe. Every being you see that emits colors and takes the shape of spirals, galaxies, suns, or planets is part of the cells of this big being called seraphim. They are the largest beings in the universe. From the first souls of these shapes, planets were born. Then, through the division of matter and the creation of cells, the structure and energy of the soul began to look for new perspectives on life. The cells began to divide in time and space according to the gravity of each planet. That's why we started having other shapes. These are different realities split off from different spheres. This is where the human shape comes from. Human beings are not shaped because we resemble gods or angels. We simply imagine them in our shape. But the shapes they project onto us are just cells. This is why the true reality is not our human form, but the spheres that created protons, neutrons, and cells. This is the only reality that exists. The rest is just a combination of gravity shaping these spheres towards evolution. The first physical realities were simply spheres that split themselves into many parts with the vibrations of the soul, creating electrons, protons, neutrons, molecules, and bodies. Our bodies and planets are simply projections of the energy of the soul. After seraphim were created through these vibrations of spheres of souls, the seraphim divided again, creating the most powerful energy with a purpose in creation. These energy cannons in the universe are called archangels. Archangels are not human in appearance, but are projections of seraphim. They created solar systems and the geometric patterns of the evolution of beings. We all come from the energy of one archangel. It's like a tree, where the 9th dimension, the 1st dimension, and the 7th dimension are the main parts of this tree. The branches are seraphim. The branches of these branches are archangels. The smaller branches are called angels, and the leaves are beings living on different planets. Therefore, we are all the tree of life and the fruit of life, created by the division of one sphere into many spheres. We are the smallest spheres created from the seraphim, archangels, angels, and the great spheres of the tree of life. In this process, the seed of life transitioned from the first circle into 2, forming in the middle the shape of an eye. This eye or mouth shape is the shape of the universe from which the soul was created. This pattern then began to design the meaning of life in every reality, in every dimension. The 2 circles began to become 3, creating the Trinity and opening the door to creation through the duality of positive and negative. When the 1st dimension began to expand itself, it created the first sphere, the sphere of mind. Then the positive and negative split into Vesica Piscis, which we call 2 mother cells. In the middle was the seed. From these 2 dimensions, the 3rd dimension was created, the one between the 2 spheres. Then it split into 4, the 4th dimension. Then it was divided into 6 and 8. So when the whole sphere started to be created in the universe, it started to split into many other souls, creating a lot of energy. This energy began to create the branches of the tree of life. These branches were not physical, but energetic. The vibrations of these branches at other levels of consciousness, in other dimensions, began to fill the entire universe and the mind of the universe until they became distortions. Distortion was when every light and every soul in the universe began to interact. These colors started to reflect, so you couldn't see the light, the main light coming from the center. Then all the rays began to reflect off each other, creating darkness amidst chaos and distortion. This distortion of darkness created a mirror-like thing that we call the mirror hole of reality. Everything was reflected in this mirror hole. From there, all the energy in that mirror hole that reached the edges of the universe began to reflect again in waves toward the center of the universe. All this energy going back and forth created a force and energy in the center that reflected every possibility back to the center. The seed in the center began to be charged with so much energy that time and space were united and divided again. At that moment, every vibration was divided, and then all energy came back together as one. This was the moment when all the waves started to become shapes. This is what we call the Big Bang, the moment when matter was created from the souls.